Hello, everybody. Today we're going to learn something that's pretty fun. It's always an exciting lesson that I get to do, which is using a letter to represent the unknown when solving problems. And you might be asking yourself, well, what do you mean using a letter? We're in math. We use numbers in math, right? Well, guess what? In math, we can use a letter to represent an unknown number that we have to solve for. It's kind of fun. So let's take a look. We have some word problems today in our examples. Your assignment will not have word problems, but this is just to get you the idea of how it works in context. So our word problem that we're going to start with is 21 people line up to use the canoes at the park. 3 people are assigned to each canoe. How many canoes are used? All right, so I'm going to try to make a mental picture of what's happening here. I know that we've got a bunch of people in a line at a park, and they want to use the canoes. And I know that 3 people can go in each canoe, but I don't know how many canoes I need. So my number sentence can be one of 2 things. I can think of it as 3 times something equals 21, right? 3 people per canoe times however many canoes will give me my 21 people. Or I can think of it as 21 divided by 3 equals something, right? We have 21 people, put 3 in each canoe, and then we'll find out how many canoes. Now, instead of writing this line like I did for the blank, we're going to actually use letters today. So because the question is asking me specifically how many canoes are used, I'm going to use the letter C. So what I can do instead is I can write 3 times C equals 21, or I can write it as 21 divided by 3 equals C. Now I'm going to solve. I can do it several different ways. I might draw a picture. Maybe I want to draw a canoe and show the 3 people in it. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to keep going, 1, 2, 3, until I get my 21 people. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 21, nope, 18, 21, and I'm it. So now if I check how many canoes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 canoes because I counted each canoe, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this case, I can write my answer like this. I can say C is equal to 7. The C representing how many canoes. The number of canoes I need is 7. Another way I could have done it is I could have said, I'll skip count by 3s. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. That could be the work that I show. And then I know that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times I had to count by 3. And still, C is equal to 7 because I counted 7 times. Okay? So the letter C just simply stands for that blank that we've usually been used to drawing, right? Usually we draw a blank, or maybe sometimes we draw a question mark. Now we're just going to use a letter. Not too bad, right? Let's take a look at our next one. This one says 24 students are grouped in 4s to go on a field trip. How many groups of students are there? Once again, I'm going to think about the problem. What is actually happening here, right? We've got 24 students. They're put into groups of 4. So I have 24 students divided into groups of 4s, and I want to know how many groups. So I'm going to look at what they're asking me. How many groups? So this time I'm going to use the letter G. What's cool about this is you can use any letter you want. There are a couple of letters I would stay away from, though. I wouldn't use the letter X because you might confuse it with the multiplication sign. I would not use the letter O. Think about why. You might confuse it with the number 0, right? And I think those are the 2 that I would really stay away from. I isn't the greatest either because it can look like a 1, especially if you don't put that little flippy thing on it. If you just do a straight I, you might confuse it as a 1. So I would stay away from those letters, but feel free to use whatever letters work for you. I like to make it match what I'm trying to find. It helps me remember what I'm looking for. So I could write this as 24 divided by 4 equals G. Or if I want to think of it as multiplication, I can think of it as, okay, 4 people in each group times some number of groups, which I don't know yet, should give me my 24 students total. Now I can go ahead and solve. This time I'm going to do it the opposite way. This time I'm going to start by skip counting. I'm going to count by 4s, see how many times it takes me to get to 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. I'm going to go and check how many times I counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I believe my answer is G equals 6. The number of groups is equal to 6. I can also solve it the way I did it before. I can start making groups. Put 4 kids in each. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I've got my 24 kids sorted out. Count my groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And still I get G is equal to 6. The number of groups is 6. Then you would write your statement. How many groups of students are there? There are 6 groups of students. Now, I didn't put this example down here, but I'm thinking I want to do one quick one. What if it's a straightforward multiplication problem? Like, I made, 3 cookies for each student. I have 7 students. How many cookies did I make? Now, because this is a straightforward multiplication problem, we can use our distributive property, right? So I'm going to write my equation first, think about what I'm doing, and I know I've got 3 cookies per student times 7 students, and that's going to tell me how many cookies I made. So since I'm thinking about how many total cookies I made, I'm going to use the letter C. Just like I did before. Last time it meant canoes, because we were talking about canoes. This time my C stands for cookies. Okay, so now I'm going to use my distributive property. We've learned that. Let's apply it. I'm going to break that 7 up into something way easier. A 5 and a 2. Let's put it in different colors just so we remember how to do this. Okay, so now I'm going to do my 3 times 5 in the green. And I'm going to do my 3 times 2. Remember, taking the other factor and multiplying it by both parts. 3 times 5, I know that one nice and easy, is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. Add those together. I know 15 plus 5 is 20. And then one more gives me 21. So then I'm going to go back to my beginning part, and since I used the letter C, I'm going to just say C is equal to 21. See how that works? It's kind of fun to pick your letters and use letters. It's actually something you're going to use a lot of in the coming years, all the way up to high school. And if you go to college and do math in college, you'll use it there. It's called algebra, and these are called variables, these letters. So we are going to practice using letters to represent the unknown today. Good luck on your assignment. If you are home today, it's best to print out the paper. It is going to be hard to do on Seesaw. You can do it if you use the Zoom feature. You can zoom in. Much easier to do it on paper. Have fun solving.